Hello, everyone, and welcome to HCTV Sports, and we're going to start immediately with the national anthem. Stay right here. All right, we're back. HCTV Sports after a beautiful rendition of our national anthem. And, I guess we'll just start the intro over. We're here doing Hastings High School girls varsity basketball, and the hometown Raiders will be hosting the visiting North St. Paul Polars for some in-conference play for the Metro East Conference. Hastings comes in at 2-2 on the season, while North St. Paul comes in at 0-4. I'm Reagan Hooverman. I'll be on play-by-play tonight, and I'm here with my broadcast partner on color commentary, Theo Tolfson. So, Theo, how's it going tonight?
It's going well, Reagan. I'm looking forward to this game as it gives the Raiders a bit of an advantage here going up against a team that hasn't even won their first game in the season. But there's something to be of note with the North St. Paul Polars is that they're a very young team, and a lot of who makes up their varsity team are 8th graders and 9th graders, a few sophomores, and only one senior. So obviously, being so young going up against older teams across the conference, they won't be able to, play as well against them. But it's building up for something better when a couple years down the road when hopefully they won't have to be playing with masks on in the next year or two.
Absolutely, and so we get started first with the visiting Polar starters: Lakeisha Thomas, number 2, Kalia Brilliant, number 11, Ashley Horton, number 14, Maggie Jones, number 23, and Anya Bradford, number 30. And with that, we're going through the starters for the hometown Hastings Raiders.
Yes, and who to look forward to for the hometown Raiders is Lulu Newton. The last game that the Raiders had against Simley High School, she had 22 points, leading the team in a 44-38 victory over them. So she is someone to keep your eyes on all night as the top score getter on the team so far this season.
Absolutely. So a big-time performance in her previous game there against Simley, and the starters for the Raiders: number 2, Shay Levos; number 3, Avery Daly; number 12, Lily Newton; number 14, Emma Baker; and number 20, Hannah Schultz. So, like you said, a lot of experience, a lot of seniors on this Raiders team. And then you compare it, like you said, to the Polars. Only one senior on the roster, and she's not a starter. So it's a very, very young Polar team.
Yeah, and they're going to be learning a lot this season that they'll take with them into the future seasons, considering how young this team is. And they might be better contenders in the Metro East a few years down the road, but tonight we'll see how the Raiders go up against this very young team.
Absolutely, and you take a look at the standings, and, the Raiders are somewhere in between. They're not at the top. I believe the team in first place with Metro East is 4-0, and you look down in the cellar, and it's this Polar team. But, you can't hold that against them. Like you said, when you've got 8th graders and 9th graders starting varsity, that's an extremely young team. So here we are with tip-off, and that's Lily Newton winning possession for the Raiders, and they'll take it near the top of the key. Now just a little handoff. Now on the right side wing, driving into the lane. Layup is up. No good, but we've got a foul call, so we'll get our first infraction of the game, and we'll get our first 2 free throws of the game as well.
Yeah, I didn't catch. I think it was number 11 there for the Polars who committed foul.
So we'll have Levos at the line shooting her first, and that's up and good. So
first basket of the night,
right,
on a free throw. Doesn't happen too often.
Second free throw is up and good, so quality first possession for the Raiders, and now it'll be The Polars coming back down, now crossing midcourt near the top of the key. Now we're on the left side. Swung back around to the right. Little screen up near the free throw line. Elbow jumper's up and good.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad of a shot there. Getting right in the top of the paint there.
So mid-range, Maggie Jones is good for 2, and now the Raiders coming right back. Corner 3 ball, thought about it, passed. Now kicked out to the right side wing. 3 is up and catches only backboard. Now back out. Inside, a lot of contact, no call. Offensive rebound. And so Levos will set it up near the top of the key again.
Yeah, I think a lot of what the North St. Paul defense is doing right now is just playing up in the paint so they can't get up there and get a nice clean layup. And that has definitely played into advantage within this first couple of minutes.
Absolutely. So Newton's layup attempt was no good. The Polars grabbed the rebound. Now back on the attack near the top of the key. Trying to attack inside the lane. Loose ball. It's taken. Levos on the attack. It's a 2-on-2. Levos going all the way to the rack. Layup isn't good, but
it looked like they called a foul right as she was making that layup, so it might be another shooting opportunity already to start. And it looks like it will be.
So Levos going back to the free throw line for her 3rd and 4th free throw of the game, which you don't see too often on your 4th free throw.
Especially in the first minute and a half in a game.
Exactly. So Levos shooting her 3rd free throw, now 3 for 3 on the night. Getting set for her 4th. And that's good as well. So clearly a quality free throw shooter, as she's already 4 for 4 on the night.
And if you're the Polars, you might be a little concerned about already having 2 fouls within the first minute and a half, and if that's going to be consistent going all night, and that could eventually lead to one of the players getting fouled out of the game, if that's how it is. But it looks like we got one called on the Raiders now.
We do, so that's Kalia Brilli, the 8th grader, starting varsity, attacking the lane. Layup was no good, but going to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Raiders lead 4-2, pending a couple of free throws. First is up and no good. So they'll get set for her 2nd, which she gets to fall, so the Raiders will inbound. Now crossing midcourt, swung around to the right side wing, pass down into the post, drop step, kicked out top of the key. Now back to the right wing, going right back into the post. Offensive rebound, and we've got a foul call, and it looks like it'll be a shooting foul, so Louie Newton already dominating the glass early in this game, just a couple minutes in.
Yeah, she's definitely been playing some great rebounds there, and that has helped her to get this foul in 2 shootouts.
So clearly the Raiders are just an excellent free throw shooting team, already 5 for 5 on the night.
Yes, it's a great way to start. This is definitely not how they were expecting their scoring to begin. 3 straight free throw opportunities, but by 2 different players. And making the most of it.
And now they're 6 for 6.
Yeah, they have been making the most of it.
Right, you got to take advantage of what's given to you, and already 3 fouls in the first 2 minutes here of this game for the Polars, which
is very concerning.
Is concerning, exactly. Yes. And there's a turnover right there, so the Raiders now on the attack. That's Daly driving into the lane. Layup is up and good. So Daly getting off to a nice start as well. And the lead now extended to 5 for the Raiders.
Yeah, the Polars are just playing their defense, it looks like, consistently right underneath the basket, trying to prevent any layup game. But as far as I know, I don't know who's the best three-point shooter in the Raiders lineup right now. And that could be what sets them apart.
So now a pass out, drive into the lane. Layup is up and catches nothing. Rebound goes to Newton. Not much of a surprise there as she'll dish it up and set up this Raiders offense. Now a kick out top of the key. It's a wide open 3. It's up and rims out. So no good for Levos.
And that's another thing you sometimes can forget about these younger teams is that they don't always have – there's a height difference that's essential compared to older players. And, you know, everyone's in different parts of their growth spurts in that age group. So that definitely is a bit of a disadvantage is the height for the North St. Paul team. But maybe that will change in a few years.
And it looks like we've got a few substitutions and also now a timeout here for the Raiders. I noticed they subbed in Linnea Hansen, a 5'6" guard, a senior, so more experience even coming off the bench there, which is, you have to assume, is another advantage for the Raiders compared to that Polars team, which is so young. And part of that we've seen so far this game is, I mean, they've got 3 fouls a couple minutes into the game compared to the Raiders only having 1. You know, and we've seen clearly, I mean, the Raiders are 6 for 6 on free throws so far. And that could play a factor later in this first half. I mean, if they get into the bonus, and clearly the Raiders are a good free throw shooting team, it'd be a chance for them to extend their lead even further.
Right, and that's what they are going to probably talk about during this timeout is like, okay, how are we already seeing this defensive play of being right underneath the basket for the Polars? So how are we going to work around it? Maybe take more 3-point shots or getting those 2-point shots right on the paint. So we will see what happens here.
Absolutely, and we just had a beautiful shot there of some of the fans that are allowed in attendance, mostly friends and family, of course, masked up and socially distanced to make it as safe as possible. And now we resume the action. The Polars on the attack, a little pick and roll at the top of the key. 3-pointer is up, no good. Off back iron, rebound fought for, and we've got, it looks like we've got a foul call. Thought maybe it was going to be potentially a jump ball, but they say
foul, yeah.
It
looked.
foul.
I thought it was a jump ball as soon as the whistle was blown.
That's what I thought. So, but they say it's going to go against Anya Bradford, the freshman, and that's their 4th foul of the game with 15 minutes essentially to go in this first half. The Raiders offense getting set up. A driving layup is no good. We've got a rebound and another foul call, so maybe getting a little ticky-tacky here to start.
I think it's looking that way for both teams. This is the 2nd foul called against the Raiders, and you got 6 fouls.
Right.
Only 3 minutes, 15 seconds into this game.
And that's the thing I mean, if you're a coach, and especially when you tell the players, that's something you need to tell them to adjust to. If it's going to be called that tightly, as a 3-pointer's up and no good, offensive rebound off high glass, again no good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this isn't a game of blacktop on NBA 2K where
right.
Fouls are unlimited. There's no consequences. You got to be thinking about, okay, we already have this many early. What are we doing that's, getting us to be too aggressive to cause these fouls and get them called? How can they back off? And this goes for both teams.
So now the Raiders offense getting set up once again. Now kicked out left side wing. Another driving layup is up and good. They're going to say it counts. So a layup there for Lily Newton, and she'll go to the line to potentially tack on one more and extend this lead even further. So Newton clearly establishing some dominance early in this first few minutes. And now back at the free throw line.
Yeah. This is now the 4th opportunity for free throws due to fouls, and North St. Paul is at their 5th on the night.
And you have to assume that's why some subs come in. It's going to be Alia Horton and Jenna Rebelk.
Yeah, absolutely, Reagan.
So the free throw is up and good. We'll get a substitution, so Newton will catch a breather. Looks like they'll bring in Maggie Schlottman, a 6-foot center junior. So the Polars now back on offense on the left side wing. Daring to drive to the rack. She goes up and is fouled. I get you want to force a player left to their weak hand, but when you give them a clear lane to the bucket, it might
Horton
be
took full
easy.
advantage of that opportunity to just get that layup right in, and instead of getting that layup now, she has free throws thanks to the foul, and now that's the 3rd one for the Raiders tonight. I mean, are we going to see double-digit numbers for fouls from both teams tonight? It's starting to look that way.
We likely will. So the first free throw is up and no good, so the 8th grader, Alia Horton, no good on the first. Now we'll get a sub in, number 40, Jordana Jacobs, a freshman. Second free throw off back iron, no good. Rebound goes to Schlottman. Now Raiders offense back on the attack, kicked out. Now swung around to the corner, going baseline. Short corner jumper up and no good. Rebound Polars looking to push. Going straight to the bucket. Layup attempt is no good. And they'll say off
It looked like it was off number.
So they'll say off Lucy Walker's leg, and it'll be Raider basketball.
Yeah, that fumble really just messed up her opportunity to get a decent layup in there.
So Raiders leading 11-3. Good start for them now as they set up their offense. Cross half court now on the right side wing, dumped into the post, a little turnaround layup attempt, no good. Offensive rebound, and they're dominating the glass right now.
They are, Reagan. Now it'll be interesting to see how the Polars respond to this and if they're going to try to take opportunities outside the paint and get, a couple two-pointers, maybe a three-pointer out there, but it's hard to say because they have been trying to do a lot of layups on their scoring opportunities like right now.
Wide open layup attempt is up and no good. So for Horton, can't get it to fall. Now Raiders pushing the pace. Excellent pass inside the paint. What a pass.
They took full advantage of that there. They knew that the Polars weren't going to be able to get under the paint real quick, and that's what's probably going to set them apart in scoring, is if they can get to the post, score a couple layups, and not defend in enough time.
What a pass. Brooke Jackson dumping one off to Hannah Schultz and converting on the layup, and it'll be a timeout for the Polars. Raiders lead now extended 15-3, and I know it's early. I know we've got whatever there is, 10 or 12 minutes left in this first half, but this could get out of hand early.
Yeah, and the thing is with North St. Paul's last game, and they were playing the South St. Paul High School team, girls varsity, they lost 64-41, and they only scored 18 points in their first half of that game.
Here we take a look at the Metro East Conference standings. Hill Murray in first at 4-0. A couple of teams trailing, Matamidi and Simway at 3-1. South St. Paul at 2-1. Hastings right there. Near the middle at 2-2. Henry Sibley at 1-3. Tartan 1-4, and North St. Paul at the bottom at 0-4. But they still got a chance in this game. There's a lot of time left.
Yeah, and like I was trying to say, they only scored 18 points in the first half of the last game and then 23 in the second half. So they might be able to get more scoring opportunities in the second half if we're looking at what has already been done. But we will see what they do here.
So the Polars back at it, coming out of a timeout. Risky pass there, nearly gets picked off, but they're going to attack. Now into the short corner. Back out to the right side wing, now top of the key. Swung around to the left, looking for the post, not there. Now back out to the right side, few dribble moves, attacking the paint. Stripped clean, turnover for the Polars. Raiders on the attack, going straight at the bucket, layup attempt. Up and no good, so Keegan McVicker, the 8th grader, caution to the wind and taking it into her own hands. Straight at the basket, layup wouldn't go, but we've got a foul.
Yeah, you can see down on the sidelines there as the North St. Paul coach has been very heated, as you might expect from 6 fouls, but they're in the first 5.5 minutes of the game.
At this rate, we may not make it to halftime. We may not make it to halftime. So the first free throw is up and good. So McVicker. This has been excellent from the free throw line to start for the Raiders.
Absolutely.
I don't think they've missed one.
They haven't yet, but you might have just pulled the broadcaster's jinx, man.
I think they're 8 for 8 right now.
They are 8 for 8 currently, but we'll see if that continues for them all night.
That is not something you see in high school basketball.
Oh, no.
If you shoot 70% from the line in high school, you are excellent. Yep,
you jinxed them.
That one's on me.
You jinxed them, man.
So
I told you.
So that free throw is no good. Polars grab the rebound, now trailing 16-3. 12 minutes to go in this first half. Deep three-pointer from behind the arc off glass. I don't think she called bank. Doesn't matter, didn't go in anyways. And we'll get just kind of a reckless foul. I don't know
what else to call it.
I don't know what the incentive is there for slowing it down, and now
they're shooting an opportunity here for the Raiders.
Now it's a bonus. So
exactly.
The Raiders are in the bonus with 12 minutes to go in the first half. This could be a long one. So McVicker back at the line. So it's 1-1. She makes the first. So she'll get the second.
Get another sub out here for the Polars.
And it's a redemption story. First missed free throw of the night, comes back, hits the next one, and now gets a shot at her second. And that one rims out. That's just unfortunate.
Yes.
Rebound Polars. Now attacking the baseline down the left once again. They bring a double team, trapped in the corner. Quick escape pass, now top of the key, dumped inside of the post. And it's a turnover. So Jacobs turns it over. The Raiders look to attack. Now passing inside of the post, back to the top of the key. Kicked out to the left side corner. Three-pointer up and good. Three-pointer buried. McVicker has come into the game and is on fire right now. The lead extended to 17 points with 11 and a half to go in the first. This is domination right now. I mean,
there's nothing else to call it at this point.
I mean, this is...
I think this is probably the 10th swap out that the Polars have committed already with only 6.5 minutes played.
Yeah, a lot of subs, a lot of
fouls. And we can't ignore the fact that the Raiders already have 4, which is still a lot for them as well.
So the Polars attacking. Big-time block. Louis Newton sends it back. Polars retain possession. Now they dribbled out of bounds off themselves. So great defensive possession there from the Raiders. And now Avery Daly will get set to inbound. Once again, the lead is 17 points. It's 20-3. 11 minutes to go in the first half as the Raiders cross half court. Now swung to the left corner. Just a short corner jumper. Up and good. This is quite the performance from Louis Newton so far.
Absolutely. And this is something we were expecting just given on her history of the season so far in top scoring. But now she's also just playing a great passing game along with her teammates. And everyone's pretty much going to get a chance for the Raiders tonight to shine. Ooh. And we're seeing that. And it looks like we have a serious injury here, possibly.
So they'll get a trainer out here. So there was a fight for a loose ball, and one of the Polars took a tough foul. Looks like she hit her head on the floor, so we'll take all the time necessary here as both teams are going to meet in their respective corners. And when something like that happens, you just hope the player's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully she'll be able to get back up on her own power, but we shall see.
And obviously you don't want to assume anything, but when a player hits their head on the ground like that, your mind instantly goes to potential concussion. So they'll take their time here, and the players will meet with their respective coaches at their bench. This break coming with 10:49 to go in the first half. The Raiders are leading 22-3, but we've got an injury timeout. And it looks like they'll get a substitution here. So Anya Bradford will come in to replace Kenzie Shockey, the injured player,
and she's
a sophomore. But she's able to walk off under her own power.
That is a good sign there.
Yeah, we probably don't want to see that.
No.
So. Yep. Yeah, so obviously you hope the player's okay. No, it's okay. Take the necessary steps, and like I said, you just hope the player's okay.
Yes, and the sign that she was able to get up on her own power, it tells you it probably isn't as bad as it looked at first impact.
Absolutely, so that was a good sign, and best wishes to Kenzie Shockey, the sophomore, but we'll continue action here as the Polars will inbound from under the bucket.
Now
Kicked
the
out
Raiders
to the left side, three-pointer up and good. So answering right back, Ashley Horton with a three from the left corner.
Now the Raiders are at their 6th foul of the evening already. So we have 13 fouls, and we're not even at the 10-minute mark.
Newton attacking, swung around to the right side. Now passed out, and it's errant. It's picked off. The Polars now on the attack, driving straight into the lane. I think that was a Euro step. It didn't go in.
Did not have enough power on that one.
Shades of Manu Ginobili with the Euro step, but the Raiders get it right back. Now attacking into the lane. Wild layup, up and no good. Newton right there on the rebound. Fantastic job crashing the glass, and Newton with another layup. Lead now is 24-6. Under 10 to go in the first half. Three-pointer. Polars trying to answer, no good.
And it looks like that is going to be the Polars ball on the out-of-bounds play.
So a heads-up play there from the Polars to force it out off the Raiders. We'll get some substitutions coming in.
Yeah, at this point, if you're the Raiders, you're hoping you're getting more whistles blown on just keeping the ball out of bounds on you and not another foul. And it looks like the Raiders are now going to have their 7th foul, bringing it to 14 total from both teams.
Lakeisha Thomas, the sophomore number 2, will go to the free throw line. She'll shoot a pair to try and jumpstart this offense. For the Polars, first one doesn't go, but she'll get a second chance at it. Second free throw up and good. Now the Raiders back, now crossing half court. A few dribble moves, swung around to the right side. Now back and tipped. Okay, so they say tipped ball, so it won't be over and back. Now dumped into the post. Layup attempt up, wild shot off the backboard, no good. Rebound Polars looking to attack straight into the lane. Another Euro step, and we've got a foul call.
And it looks like that one's going to be called on the Polars there.
I think so.
Yes.
So we'll get, it looks like we might be getting Newton at the free throw line. And we are.
Yes, and it looks like there's another sub out for the Raiders as well.
So we'll get McVicker back in, who hit a nice 3 just a few minutes ago. But now we get a Newton at the free throw line. 1-1, so the first is good. She'll get the second one. An absolute clinic tonight, both on the scoreboard and from the free throw line.
Yes, that is what we're seeing for the Raiders. And the thing is, I think both teams definitely need to tone it down a little bit to make sure no one gets fouled out of the game, because they are definitely running that risk very early.
I think Newton's on pace for 40 points right now.
Looking like it, but I wouldn't count on it. It's still high school basketball.
I agree. So a turnover there for the Polars. Now a turnover right back. It's stolen away. Ashley Horton now on the attack, a loose ball. And they'll say it's off the Raiders, so the Polars will inbound. And that's, if you heard that in the background, that's North St. Paul's head coach, Patrick Leslie. Not happy with the call.
He hasn't been happy this entire game so far.
I mean, if we're being honest, there's not a lot to be happy about so far. 19-point deficit with 9 to go in the first half.
And not to mention 8 fouls on top of that.
We've got a drive down the left side, big-time block.
It looks like she stepped out of bounds there, and now it's going to be a Raiders possession.
Lily Newton sending it back. No postage. She said return to sender. That was sick. So the Raiders inbound, cross midcourt. Now just a little give and go. Ooh, nice dribble move. Straight into the lane, layup up and no good. Potentially an offensive rebound. It goes out of bounds.
And it would still remain a Raiders ball after that.
So the Raiders will inbound from under the bucket.
But I think it is safe to say, Reagan, in this game that Lily Newton is not going to be the only Raider making double-digit points tonight.
I agree with that. Quick inbound is stolen. Lakeisha Thomas on the attack, now going straight at the defender. Layup is up and short. Rebound. Hastings now on the attack the other way. Fast break layup. Up and no good, but we've got a foul call. There might not be players for the second half.
For the Polars, no. They are having a hard time.
We're not far behind. So that'll be the 9th foul of the first half for the Polars. 8.5 to go.
And the Polars head coach is starting to get more frustrated with the refs than he is his own players at this point.
So we've got a
And you can't really say that these foul calls are uneven, given that one has 9 and one team has 9 fouls and the other has 7. It's both, but
So the official kind of riffing with with Patrick Leslie, the Polars head coach. In the meantime, we'll get a substitution, and now another substitution as well. So that's Alia Horton, the 8th grader, coming back in, replacing Jenna Rebelk, as we'll get a second free throw here. And just short off front iron, so it'll go out of bounds, and they say Raiders ball.
Once again.
It's hard to play defense when the rebounding has not been there so far.
Right.
As we'll get a corner three-pointer up, sent via airmail.
That one went a little too far over the basket.
No good from the corner for Baker, and now we'll get a jump shot off the glass. A mid-range jumper.
Just on the paint, and it won't go as a 3.
That time Ashley Horton out near the elbow. Trying to close the gap a little bit. Now 27-9 in favor of the Raiders. Back on the attack on offense near the top of the key. Now swung around to the right side. Now back to the top of the key. Thought about a 3. Moved a little too early. And Leslie is fired up. Patrick Leslie's going crazy down the sideline.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen first, if they're going to run out of players to play or a head coach to be on the sidelines.
And there's a great shot of Leslie on the sideline. Happy with his team's defense on that last possession. They're going to have to do more of that if they want to fight back into this game. Now driving down the right side, layup is no good. Offensive rebound, another shot up. And we get what looks to be a jump ball, and it will be.
Yes.
So we'll see which way the possession arrow favors as 3 substitutions come in for the Raiders. So it'll be Polar basketball. So they'll inbound under the bucket. Now kicked out to the left side, wide open three-pointer. Up, and it rims out. So no good there from Horton. As the Raiders now looking to attack. Pass inside of the post, now to the short corner and swung out. And they're going to reset the offense. Now to the far side. Attacking the lane, going straight at the defender.
And they're calling another foul, it looks like.
And that's Lily Newton. She's going to the free throw line again. Making absolute hay from the free throw line tonight. Lily Newton has been fantastic.
I don't think the Raiders were even expecting the amount of free throws they'll be getting at all in any game this season. This is unheard of, even for high school basketball.
I mean, it really helps that she's 6'1". I mean, that's...
Oh, absolutely.
That is absolutely towering for high school girls basketball.
Yes.
So first free throw was no good. Second one is up and good.
And already the Raiders have eclipsed their point total from their last game in the first half. Last game they only had 19, and this one they have 28 already with 7 minutes still to go.
Deep three-pointer is up and absolutely wedged. Someone's going to have to get up. See if Lily Newton can get up and get that.
I think
She's
probably
6'1".
could.
She might have the vertical on that.
But there might be new COVID protocols to keep it otherwise. But
and they're going to do the old-fashioned, get another ball and knock it out.
Yep.
They should have let Newton have a run at that.
I think they would have.
I bet she could have got that out.
Easily. I would not doubt that.
Raiders leading 28-9, just under 7 to go in the first half. So they'll set up the offense near the top of the key. Newton attacking the free throw line, swung around to the far side. Little turnaround, pass into the post. Newton layup up, and it falls. So Newton getting another layup to go.
Yeah, gravity helped her on that one, trying to just waver its way into the basket, and it looked like it was going to go out for a second. Went right in, making the 30-9 game.
Polar's back on the attack. Into the paint, ball is loose. Somehow corralled, and we've got just
a traveling called.
Wow, she was caught in the wash right there. Not much she could do. And it'll go as a turnover for the Polars. The Raiders will Now inbound and set up their offense. A little give and go out near the logo. Now Newton attacking free throw line, going straight at it. Left-handed layup is no good.
Looks like
But imagine this. She's going back to the free throw line.
Yes, another foul, the 11th of the night.
30 to 9. They might score 80 points tonight.
If they keep getting free throws, I would agree.
So Newton hitting another free throw. All right, I'm making a prediction with 6:10 to go in the first half. Newton scores 30.
Yes, that is very viable at this point.
I think she's got. Like
but how many of those are going to be free throws and actual?
Well, I'm just to pull back
goals.
the curtain a little bit here. I'm trying to keep score on the program. And,
I see that. Yeah.
And I only have one free throw tick left for Newton, and there's 6 minutes to go in the first half. So.
Well, here you can borrow my sheet if you want to have a second one.
I'm going to look like a crazy conspiracy guy with papers everywhere.
Nah, you're not going to be like Charlie from It's Always
Sunny. There's going to
Sunny.
be red yarn connected everywhere.
No, you're not going to look like Charlie. You're talking about Pepe Sylvia. That's for sure.
So Raiders passing into the post. Newton is getting double teamed at this point.
I mean,
rightfully so.
If I'm the Polars, that's your best bet. You got to make sure she doesn't get possession of the ball. And if she does, she's either going to get fouled and make shots, or she's going to find a way up in the paint and get layups.
Big time layup opportunity for the freshman Emma Baker. Couldn't get it to convert. And now the Polars are driving, and wow, they're going to get her for another travel. Lakeisha Thomas has been hit with a couple travels tonight. As we'll get I think that's a full line change. I think that was 5-player substitution.
Actually, no, I think it was 4 for the Raiders.
Was it 4?
It was 4. All but 1. I couldn't quite tell who. I think McVicker's the only one who didn't swap out there.
So Raiders lead 32-11, 5 to go in this first half. Kick to the short corner, jumper is up and good. Nice short corner jumper from Linnea Hansen, the 5'6" senior, tacking onto this Raiders lead. Now the Polars trying to answer, screen and roll near the top of the key. Layup is no good, doesn't even attempt it. We've got outlet pass. The ball is everywhere. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. The passing game for both teams right there just completely fumbled.
Wild pass after wild pass. Both teams trying to really keep the tempo up. And when all is said and done, the Polars have possession. Also, they'll do a little screen and roll. Now a pass out near the logo, driving to the free throw line. Layup. Attacking, no good. Offensive rebound. We've got to fight for it. They say jump ball. And
yeah, it looks like it's still going to be the Polars' position after that one.
I thought they got the last jump ball.
They did. Something happened there that we missed.
Well, the possession arrow was supposed to flip then.
Considering how the head coach for North St. Paul has been reacting to everything tonight, I think they wanted to give him a break just so.
So the Polars pass right into the post. Not wasting any time, and we've got another jump ball, and this one would surprise me if it went back to the Polars.
Yeah, that one would have been an absolute shocker. Like, really? 3 in a row.
But instead, they'll say Raider ball. Lead is 34-11. Now 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half as they attack. Now into the post. Ball is tipped away. That's a steal for Lakeisha Thomas. Now attacking straight into the lane. Layup is up and good. So Thomas getting a steal, going coast to coast and finishing it off with a layup.
Yeah, she's been having a lot of trouble just getting in the paint and getting that layup.
Another errant pass for the Raiders, and we've got a foul call. And so it'll be bonus, and it'll be 1-1 for one of the Polars. Couple substitutions here. Newton coming back on the floor, as well as a 5'8" senior guard, Brooke Jackson.
The Polars are catching their first break of the evening right again. 2 jump ball possessions rewarded to them, getting another foul, causing that to be the Raiders' 8th of the night.
So free throws no good. Newton with the rebound. I don't think that surprises anyone. Thought about a 3. Now swung around to the left side. Newton wide open. They're daring her to shoot it. She's going to take it. Off back iron and no good. Now she's going to take one dribble in, a little mid-range jumper instead. She said, nah, I didn't want the three.
No,
Offensive
not at all.
rebound, kicks it out to the elbow. She'll hit the mid-range
And that was
jumper.
a great play there by McVicker just to make sure it doesn't fall out of bounds and just get it back to Newton just so she could have another scoring opportunity after that first missed shot. I mean, that's great.
And I'm trying to do a lot here, but if I've scored this correctly, I think Newton's got 18 so far.
Already. And we
still
have 4 minutes left.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 minutes left. So we got a timeout here as we get a shot of the Polars talking it over. 10 fouls.
I think there was 11 and they might have missed one, or I might have counted in one extra, but at the same time, you can't really.
We get a great shot there of
seniors for the Hastings Raiders.
Absolutely, the seniors. The banners are always cool.
The banners are always rewarding for the
love going
senior
somewhere
year.
and seeing the banners. Absolutely.
Yeah. Get to bring that home with you at the end of the season.
So we got a great shot there. The court, both benches, some fans. Raiders lead 36-13. So we get set to come out of this timeout, and this has been, outside of a few turnovers, this has been a pretty complete half of basketball so far, with pending 4 more minutes.
Well, 3.5
the
now, though, I
Raiders,
see it. But, yeah, we'll see how many whistles blown, because it seems like we haven't even gotten a full minute of gameplay without a whistle being blown.
So the Polars back on the attack. That's Lucy Walker going
already
straight at the rack. And it's starting to feel like each team has figured out that the officials are going to call quite a bit. And they're taking advantage of it. I mean, give them credit where credit's due.
Yes.
They've figured out how this game's going to be officiated, and they're going to take advantage.
But then again, now the Raiders are up at their 9th foul. This is the 19th one of the game. How many more can you afford to do? Even with this enormous lead of 36-13, it just makes you wonder if you're going to keep risking the gamble of getting all these fouls called on you, or, do how they were doing in the first few minutes. Have it be more on the Polars than the Raiders themselves when it comes to those foul calls.
So Raiders back on the attack, driving layup. Up and no good. They'll say foul, so Levos will go to the line. The 5'4" senior point guard.
And I think that was the thing that was putting this game apart in the first few minutes, of this half, is the fact that the Polars were getting more fouls called on them. They were playing more aggressively. They weren't really paying attention, and the Raiders were being a little more careful. And I think that's something they need to carry to, keep this league going and get more free-throw opportunities.
Right.
And have less fouls called on them and make sure they're being a little less aggressive in the second half.
So first free throw was up and no good. The second one, different story. Levos gets it to drop. And now the Polars coming back in offense, swung around to the left side. Quick trigger, 3. Up, no good. Rebound goes to Newton, who will go coast to coast. Great pass. I mean, that's a great pass.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's a shame it couldn't have been capped off.
No, but that was an absolute great pass, and I believe
She's got great vision.
I won't even deny that. But
backdoor cut. Oh, the pass wasn't there. It's picked off by Newton. Coast to coast. Ooh.
Almost failed on that pass.
Pass gets through.
Good rebound.
Good. Rebound up. Newton hit hard.
It looks like they got another foul called on the Polars there, and now Newton's going to get another chance at the line.
So Newton going back to the free throw line.
Have you run out of
scoring
on the second sheet?
I have one more for her to make.
There it is.
Okay. I'll be moving on to the next sheet. What an absolute performance so far from Lily Newton and this varsity basketball team for the Raiders. Second one is good. I don't know what's going on. What just happened?
I don't know.
Did they just not inbound it?
No, they did. They did.
Oh.
Maybe they were in bounds when they did that.
We'll let it fly. So the Polars setting up the offense. Now on the left side wing, attacking middle of the paint, kicked out. Thought about a 3. One dribble. Pass back out again. 3 up. Off front iron and no good.
That rebound right into the hands of Levos.
Bit of a transition attack here. Thought about a 3. And they'll go for a layup instead, and that's another foul. So Levos getting to the line pretty effectively as well.
It looks like Levos is going to get a chance at the free throw line now, and I think they just stopped adding up the fouls on the scoreboard.
It caps at 10.
Yeah, so that has to be the 12th or 13th. 12 or 13.
Yeah, it's double bonus
half.
the rest of the way. Now that they're over 10, a little bit of around the world action there, but Levos gets it to fall. We'll get substitutions as notably Newton will go to the bench. Be replaced with Maggie Schlottman, number 21, the 6-foot junior guard / center. So interesting position listing there. Now the lead extended 41-13, 2 minutes to go in the first half. Polars on the attack, right side, little screen and roll. Now give and go. Deep three-pointer is
way
sent
off track
airmail. So no good. Rebound goes to Catholish. Coast to coast layup is up, no good. And that'll be a rebound for the Polars. Ball is loose, trying to save it. She does.
Just barely getting in there.
Short corner jumper up, no good. And rebound Raiders, so. Bit of action there, driving straight into the lane, kick to the corner. Pass is absolutely telegraphed. Picked off, going the other way for the Polars. Layup attempt off high glass is no good. And a fight for the rebound. Players on the floor, jumper's no good. We've got
stumble there.
A player that gets tripped. No foul call, surprising based on what we've seen tonight. A steal for the Raiders. Now going the other way. Emma Baker in a 1-on-3. She wants it herself. Layup is no good. Offensive rebound is up and in.
All the Raiders really need to do now is swipe the ball back once more, Reagan, and just kill the clock.
That's the sophomore Abby Doffing, 5'3".
Impressive play there by Doffing.
Nice work on the glass. Follow-up attempt, layup was good. The lead is 43-13. 30 seconds to go. Pass nearly picked off. Polars dumping it into the post. Excellent pass right there to the short corner. Shot is up and good. The 8th grader, Kalia Brilli.
And it looks like the Raiders aren't even going to waste any time with the clock, and they're going to try to add a little more cushion to
Now
this
left
lead.
side, three-pointer is up and no good. Offensive rebound is up and in. Great job on the glass. Natalie Catholish, the sophomore guard, with less than 10 to go in the first half. A great offensive rebound and an air ball to end the first half. A 45-15 lead for this Raiders team. And that was,
This is an
excellent.
entirely different story for both teams compared to the last games. I mean, this is very one-way in terms of scoring right now, but in terms of fouling, both teams are getting a lot called on them, and they will both have to work on doing whatever they need to make sure they don't have as many fouls in the next half.
So a great first half of action as we see both teams head to their respective locker rooms. The Raiders lead 45-15. And we'll have a brief intermission. Stay right here with HCTV Sports. We'll be back for the second half and some great action. Hello everyone and welcome back to HCTV, and we've got just a couple minutes here until we get started with the second half of girls varsity basketball action here in Hastings. Once again, I'm Reagan Hooverman on play-by-play, and Theo Tollefson's here with me on commentary. So tell me, Theo, what do you think of the first half? What do you make of that?
I mean, in terms of scoring, it was an absolute blowout, without a doubt.
Right.
But in terms of fouling, it was both ways. The Raiders only had 9. I believe the Polars got 13, but they went over 10 fairly quickly.
Yep.
So for both teams, the obvious is do not foul this second half as much as you did in the first half. That's going to probably help the Polars make sure they can at least get to 20, 30-some points, at least double, maybe even more. So, but for the Raiders, it's like take advantage of this. Hope the Polars do keep fouling so you can get endless amount of free throws and, just as many scoring opportunities as possible. We'll see how they take advantage of this.
Right there, as you see, a great shot of the fans in attendance, the limited number of tickets that were given out. obviously close friends and family. So we got 40 seconds here until we get started for the second half. And I think that's a good point about the fouls and how coaches adjust. You know, what do you tell your players at halftime? You know, obviously it's become a ticky-tack game, and some officiating crews are just like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, your coaching staff and your players need to adjust to how the officials are officiating.
Yeah.
And I feel like they'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to be the big difference is who is going to adjust better to the officials in this second half. And that's more so on the fouling side. And obviously, it's hard to say that there's going to be much of a difference in scoring, but I think for both teams, their objective is just foul the least amount as possible. But we'll see how this rolls out.
And I'm curious to see, you know, if the score, as it currently stands, it's a 30-point lead, and you know, we're not going to pretend like this is a close game right now, but I think you have to watch if it continues along the lines that it has so far. How long do the starters play? You know, do you sit your best players with 10 minutes to go in the second half? So that'll be something to watch as well. So with that being said, Polars quick on the attack, layup. Kind of an up and under move is good.
Yeah, that was something certainly overdue for them that they needed to start the second half.
All right, so this is an interesting start. So the Polars come out in a press. They come out and look to attack on the inbound.
And we definitely can hear Leslie's enjoying this.
Just absolutely animated down the side.
I don't think he's going to be cutting back on that at all for the rest of this evening.
So a quick turnover, and the Polars get it right back. Kind of a wild running shot is up and no good, and we've got to fight for it. Likely a jump ball, and it is.
Yep, and that will be a Raiders possession now.
And I'm curious to see if they... So they're going to continue this. They're going to put pressure on the basically a full court press.
Yep. Unfortunately,
Patrick is absolutely animated. He's going crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately for Daly with that pass right there, it just slipped right out of her hands, and that's just something that happens every once in a while, but Leslie's just...
And this is, give credit to him as we see a great camera shot right there of him down the sideline. Yeah. That's a creative way to come out and try and get some quick points and some cheap turnovers to start the second half, and that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, and they still have a very long way to go to even be in contention for a win for this game, but, you know... It's definitely bringing a momentum changer within the first minute of this half.
Wild three-pointer, barely catches glass. Raiders grab the rebound, take it the other way. They'll set up the offense near the top of the key. A few dribble moves, a handoff. That's Newton now kicking out. Now a little more dribble action. Now kick out to the left corner. A wide open three is passed. And it'll be a loose ball in the backcourt. They say it was tipped, so it'll remain Raider possession.
Yeah, you hate to see that on back-to-back plays there. Oh, no.
Now, so the Raiders, left side, attacking, pass into the paint is tipped.
They're calling a foul, and it looks like it's going to be another shooting opportunity for the Raiders.
And it seems like it looks like they'll say out of bounds.
No, out of bounds, okay.
So they'll say foul on the floor. It seems like the Raiders have gotten a little passive.
Yes.
They're passing up open shots.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they do have a sizable lead to hold on to.
Newton, a great pump fake. Driving with her left hand towards the bucket, layup up and good.
And it's no surprise Newton's leading the scoring for the Raiders here in the second half. She was definitely someone we saw as soon as she came out on the floor. It's like, okay, she's probably going to be the one they're going to try to pass the ball to, get it open, and get a nice clean shot.
So after a miss, the Raiders back on the attack, layup up, no good. We've got a foul call, and it looks like the freshman Emma Baker will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, second foul already in this half for the Polars. And the thing is, they made it 2 minutes and only have had 2 fouls, which they had 3 or 4, maybe even 5 within the first 2 minutes of the last half. So take that as a victory, if you will.
First free throw is up and good for Baker. She'll get set for her second. And that one is off front iron. Offensive rebound.
Newton
Great job from Newton, fighting for every possession.
Yeah, Newton's not even, I mean, some players, some athletes, when you're in a very sizable game, they probably don't always put as much effort into it, but Newton's not backing off. She's giving it her all tonight, and she's gonna go for that 30-point mark. for the game, honestly.
I've watched a decent amount of high school basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's one of the best girls basketball players I've ever seen. At the I'm not even joking. At the high school level, she could easily score 30 points tonight. As we get a short corner jumper right there.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, when I was attending high school basketball games, it was more of having to be there for pep band because it was part of my grade and just talking with friends. But, you know, it's more enjoyable just to sit and watch and call the game than it is to have to be graded for playing music that you don't even enjoy.
Pep band stories, nothing like it. So we'll get the Raiders on offense, dumping it down into the post, out to Newton. Swung around, now back into the post. Back out to Newton. It feels like they're trying to run clock.
Yeah, I think no, like they have this sizable lead, so they're going to take advantage of that more in the second half. And granted, like, yeah, you still kind of want to root for them in the case of like, oh, what kind of like points records can they set? But, you know, as a team, when you have this lead sometimes, you just want to kill the clock and mess around with the other team's defense and their mindset.
And since there is, as we get a layup attempt and a foul, so Emma Baker will go back to the free throw line. And just going back to what I was saying, since it is high school basketball, there's no shot clock. They could run, until the Polars put on pressure, they could run minutes off the clock on one possession.
That's the advantage of high school basketball compared to other levels.
Right.
Once you keep moving up,
right,
then that shot clock comes in.
So first free throw for Baker is good. And I think if you're the Polars, you gotta. It's clear that the Raiders, they want to run clock. So you have to get aggressive on defense, but also try not to foul, which is it's a tough.
That's a dangerous game for them because this is their 16th foul of the game. They have 16, and there's only 3 minutes 15 seconds in the second half, so they're doing better than the first. But
offensive rebound to Newton. I wish I was keeping track of her rebounds. She's easily got 10 rebounds.
Well, in the last game, looking at the scoreboard, she only had, I was looking at assists. She had 16 in the last game.
Yeah.
I think it's easily past that.
That's domination. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's just so good.
And Lebos and McVicker are second in the last game with both having 6 rebounds.
So barely getting the inbound pass away before time had expired. So the Raiders will set up the offense near the top of the key. Now swung around to the right side. Dribble into the short corner. Free throw line jumper is up and rims out for Newton. Offensive rebound, no good. Another fight for it, and we've got players hitting the floor. And they'll say jump ball.
It looks like it's going to be in Raiders' possession.
And give credit to, I mean, I've said it all night, but I'll continue to say it. For as many points as Newton has scored, she's played just as well on defense.
Absolutely.
Getting after rebounds, diving on the floor, like she's an effort player.
And give credit to her teammates as well, just being able to get the ball in her hands so that she can get all these opportunities, and also just getting that defense and getting in the paint just to, keep the score as it is.
So Newton comes out, Schlotman comes in, trying to get the inbound pass, and they do. So top of the key, screen and roll. Now around to the left side. Swung around to the right, now back top of the key. They're not even thinking about threes.
No.
I mean, they're really content with just.
I mean, earlier in the game, I thought that they would try to take advantage of that because of how the Polars were playing up in the paint, with their defense game. But now they're just going to kill the clock, pass it around, and I think that's what's helping them in terms of just being able to play a full minute in this half. I don't think they even got that in the last one.
And they've done a great job of just running their pass and cut offense and burning the clock and just playing smart basketball.
And you have to wonder, is this practice for another game now at this point?
So we'll see. A few dribble moves, now passed into the post. And a turnover. So the Polars on the attack down the right side, layup up and good off the glass. So a nice move right there. Looks like it was Kalia Brilli, the 8th grader. So the Raiders come back on the attack, and Ball is tipped loose, kind of some dangerous ball handling out near midcourt.
Yeah, the Polars are not messing around anymore. They're not going to let the Raiders take advantage of killing the clock. So the Raiders got to take a few more opportunities to just get some shots in.
So ball held in the short corner. Now back out near the logo. Passed around to the left side. Now dumped into the post. A few dribble moves. Shot is up and just taken away. Jordana Jacobs, the freshman, sending it back. And actually more taking away, and then just a little too much English on that pass goes out of bounds, and it'll be a turnover. So all that work on defense, and they throw it away 3 seconds into your possession.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
So we get a substitution. Ashley Horton coming off the floor, being replaced by Lucy Walker, the 8th grader. Raiders lead is 49-21, 12 to go in the second half. Pass to the short corner, saved and turned over. Polars going the other way, tipped loose and out of bounds, so it'll stay Polar basketball.
Yes, the Polars are now taking full advantage of being aggressive, and they're going to try to score more to just maintain the lead. And I know the Raiders are just trying to take advantage of their passing game, kill the clock, but the Polars have caught on. So now what they need to do is just take more opportunities to score, and maybe they'll bring some of their starting lineup back into this game to make sure that happens.
And the Polars are actually outscoring the Raiders this half, as they look like they tack on a long 2.
8-4 now, yeah.
Thought potentially it was a 3, but they say long 2 for Kalia Brilli. And of course this contest, the Raiders visiting North St. Paul, so we want to say thanks to any North St. Paul viewers that are tuning in here on HCTV Sports. As the Raiders get set to inbound. And weird dribble on the sideline. But they execute the inbound pass, now looking for the post, not there. Resetting the offense back out near midcourt. Linnea Hansen with possession, now handing it off. Free throw line, passed into the post. And it's a turnover. So that's Lakeisha Thomas once again with a steal. We've got a three-pointer, and it's short. And it'll be Raider basketball. So we've got another substitution here. Baker replacing fellow Raider. So we'll get an inbound pass here, and the full court press is on once again. Splitting the press. And the ball is turned over. So Polar's going the other way. Layup is off front iron and no good. Loose ball ends up in their hands. Pass telegraphed and picked off. And
looks like we're going to foul.
Looks like that foul will go against
the Polars.
Lucy Walker, the 8th grader.
No shooting foul this time. But again, I think the Raiders, we still see them being a little too comfortable with their just passing game and not taking advantage of any shooting opportunities. And the Polars have caught on to that, and they're going to keep swiping the ball at every chance that they get. They're not holding back. And granted, they were close to double digits in terms of fouls at this point in the last half. So
a running layup right there for Brooke Jackson. So the Raiders crossing that 50-point threshold, now leading 51-23 as the Polars attack the bucket, and they'll get a foul call. Alia Horton will go to the free throw line. And honestly, at this point, the Polars they're not playing the Raiders, they're playing the clock.
Yes.
I mean, they're just running out of time.
Yes.
10.5 to go in the second half. They're trailing by over 25.
Yeah, 28 points right now that they're down by. I mean, they got to at least try to double what they had in the last half, if not more.
And I think it's interesting that they waited until halftime to throw on the full court press, because we've seen it be effective. I mean, coming out of the half, I think they scored 4 quick points on a couple turnovers. So
yeah,
hindsight's 20/20. But maybe they could have thrown that on with 8 minutes to go in the first half when they were already trailing by 25.
Yeah, they possibly could have, but for some reason they didn't.
Alia Horton calls bank. And that'll go. And I think maybe it's a thing of maybe they weren't prepared for it and he coached it up at halftime.
No, exactly.
I mean, so that could be one of the reasons as well. So the Raiders breaking the press pretty much without any issues, just going coast to coast. Emma Baker splitting the press, making it look easy, hitting a just inside the free throw line jumper. Now the Polars back in the attack. Layup is up and good, so Lucy Walker is quickly having herself a game. Press broken once again. It's hard. I don't know if that's even considered a press at that point.
No. I think for the Raiders at this point, the one thing that can just make sure that their shooting game, defensive game really just turns back to what it was in the first half is when we see Newton back in the game.
Right, and she's been out for a couple minutes already, and that looks like it'll be a turnover. I don't think that was tipped.
No, it was not.
So it'll be over and back, and it'll be a turnover for the Raiders.
And in a game like this, I understand what the Raiders are doing.
Right,
You're giving your players who don't get enough playing time that they usually would in closer games during the season. They're getting out there. They're getting, their feet wet in this early season and shortened season.
We get a shot right there of the Raiders coach and some players on the bench. Now back to action. Three-pointer from the corner is no good. Offensive rebound for Jacobs.
And it looks like the
wild
main starters are about to be hopping back into the game here any minute for the Raiders.
So Raiders now back on offense. And big-time travel. Walked a little too early. So we'll get
Levos, Newton,
right.
McVicker, and Daly all coming back into the game for the Raiders. And I think this is where we're going to see the Raiders get a lot more of their scoring done in the second half with all these players back in.
And we'll see if they want to try and attack here on offense or if they're going to continue this, just pass it around and burn the clock routine.
Right.
So short corner jumper up and short. Rebound. Newton. She's going to push the pace herself. Now pass it up. And ball is tipped and picked off. Ends up in the hands of Jacobs. Now crossing midcourt. Little screen near the top of the key. Swung around to the right side. Looking for the post. And we've got a timeout called.
Interesting moment to do that.
Looked like the player was I think it was Jenna Rebelk who was kind of trapped there in the right side corner.
Yeah, boxed in. So instead of having the ball go back into the Raiders' possession there and possible steal, coach calls the timeout.
So a really different second half compared to what we saw in the first half.
Right.
The Raiders are being fairly conservative here, just trying to play the clock, preserve their lead.
Yes.
Whereas the Polars they're trying to attack. They've put on the press, which is worked in some situations, and slowly chipping away at this lead. But with, what is there, I think 10 minutes left? They're really running out of time here.
Yeah. And they'll keep trying, and they're definitely going to get more points in the second half than they did the first. But I think the Raiders were like, okay, we played things comfortably. We were killing the clock in time of possession. And now we see how the Polars are responding. They're getting aggressive. They're getting back into this game a little bit. They're fouling a little less. But now they're not going to waste any more time, and they're going to take advantage of this game and bring it home for themselves.
Hey, and we get a shot right there of us.
Yep, there we are.
Give a little wave to the camera. Appreciate that. So there's our view for the night as we get a resume in action.
Shot.
Three-pointers up and no good. Rebound goes Raiders. So now on the right side wing, swung around to the left side looking for the post. No screen away, still nothing there for the post. And a swing pass across court. Just continuing to burn time. Now 8 minutes to go in the second half. Pass nearly picked off. Ball dumped down into the post. Passed inside to Newton. Layup is up and fouled.
Looks like Newton's going to probably get another shooting opportunity here.
Newton couldn't get the the layup to go, but she'll get free throw opportunities.
Right, and as you would expect at this point in the game, they practically had all 5 of the Polars out there just gaining up on her just to make sure she doesn't get a shooting opportunity.
So a smooth stroke right there from Newton. She gets the free throw to go. And a second one goes as well. So preserving the lead here for the Raiders as the Polars offense gets set to attack. Now going straight into the lane. Sidestep, layup, up and good. Lakeisha Thomas going all the way to the rack and able to convert. So Raiders now on the left side wing, a few dribble moves. Now to the corner, back out to Newton. A crossover. A few screens down low in the post. And miscommunication there.
Yeah.
As Newton was going to the bucket, and Levos thought she was staying out on the perimeter.
Yeah, a little costly there for the Raiders.
So the Polars trying to take advantage of another Raider turnover. Screen near the top of the key. Tight defense on the sideline, and we've got a foul call.
That one going on the Raiders, only their second of this half, which is a huge difference for them even in the first half where they had about 4 or 5 at this point.
Officials say she was grabbing her arm. So inbound for the Polars. Three-pointer is up and no good. Rebound goes Newton. Outlet pass. Great outlet pass from Newton. And what a finish by McVicker.
Great layup there by McVicker. Great passing game by Newton, reading where McVicker was just to get it right underneath the basket. And now it extends the lead to 57-28.
It looks like we'll get a fresh 5 set to come in here for the Raiders. Have to assume with 6.5 minutes to go, this might be the end of what we see for the starters.
Starters are going to try to get one more point in for themselves, that's for sure.
Newton dumping the ball into the post. Great pass from Newton, and that's Hannah Schultz to finish it off.
And it looks like the Raiders are going to call a short timeout.
So they're going to call a timeout, and that's – I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we see for the last of the starters.
I think a couple of them might come back in, but all 5 of them at once is very unlikely at this point. 6.5 minutes to go and such an extensive lead for the Raiders.
So the lead is 59-28. 6 to go. And we've got a foul call.
That one also on the Raiders. Looks like another arm grab.
So they'll say that one goes against Emma Baker. Polars set to inbound from under the bucket. And now they say it's going to be a sideline inbound. So change up the formation. As Lucy Walker is set to inbound, and she does. So Horton will have it out near midcourt. Now top of the key. Dribble moves, driving towards the rack. Kind of a wild layup off glass. And the officials say last touched by the Polars. So it'll be Raider basketball. Once again, the Polars pressing. Raiders break it fairly easily. So they set up their offense, trying to just keep the clock running. Now to the corner.
Yeah, and it looks like they're doing that with the secondary team a lot. They're just going to keep that up. The Raiders just kill the clock as much as you possibly can.
Short corner jumper was no good. Polars attacking.
It looks like they got a foul called on the Raiders yet again. Another arm grab, and it looks like we're going to get a couple free throws. Yep.
So Ashley Horton was no good on the layup. She'll go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. First free throw, no good. Second free throw is up and in. Looks like the press is half on.
Half on, yep.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I don't know why that would be.
Not very effective, but Raiders offense now starting in the corner, now on the right side wing. Drive into the paint, kicked out, pass picked off, going the other way. That's Horton. The layup is up and good. Ashley Horton, the freshman, having a really solid last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think we can say this also about Polar's head coach, Patrick Leslie. He's very different in this half compared to the last one in terms of how his animation is going.
Yeah, he was really having himself a time. Great offensive rebound from Lakeisha Thomas.
Well, he's been letting everyone in this high school gymnasium know how his mood is all night, no matter which way it's going for the Polars.
Mood can't be that great. He's nearly down 30.
Well, he's not hiding how much better he's doing in the second half, that's for sure.
So that's Thomas again attacking the rack. Lakeisha Thomas.
Now you might have to wonder if the Raiders are going to bring some of the stars back in sooner than they were expecting. And it looks like they are.
So three-pointer from the left side, up and no good. Rebound goes to Hansen. Offensive rebound again, no good. Several opportunities to get a putback layup.
And they just missed all of them.
They can't convert on any of them.
Polars, that's what they've been doing best all night, is just playing up right underneath the basket and with their defensive game, really just crowding.
Nearly lost out of bounds for the Polars. Wild shot off the top of the glass. Own offensive rebound. Bodies hit the floor.
No fouls called there, and it looks like they got one called there.
I don't know what's going on at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're calling a defensive foul there on the Polars.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that Newton isn't coming back in the game.
No.
So they'll get other players some. You got 4 minutes of opportunity for other players to get a chance to get some varsity minutes.
And it looks like McVicker's the only starter coming back into this game.
So it'll be, after the foul call, it'll be Emma Baker at the free throw line as we get a great shot right there of Newton, who's likely played her final minutes of this game. Considering the sizable lead and only 4 minutes to go. So first free throw is good for Baker, which means she'll get her second.
I mean, this is the closest that the Polars have been all night to the Raiders in terms of scoring.
Yeah.
Well, it was 35-59, but now it's back to that 25-point gap at least, and now 26 with that.
So Baker,
second attempt by Baker.
Baker converts the pair, and I think that's, the Polars could end up outscoring the Raiders in the second half, and the Raiders won't care because they'll still win the game by 20 plus.
Absolutely. And when you look at the box scores in the paper tomorrow and you see how this first half went for the Raiders, you'll understand why.
Right.
It went so it's the opposite way, and it looks like a tumble and fall, and maybe no serious injuries there.
Yeah, it looks like both players get up, so you love to see.
Yeah, no serious injuries, which is always good.
Raiders lead 61-35, under 4 minutes to go in the second half. It'll be the Polars inbounding from under the bucket into the short corner. Ball is knocked loose, but the Polars retain possession. Screen and roll near the top of the key. Swung out to the far corner. Ball is loose. Ends up in Raider possession. You'll have to assume they slow the pace down here, and they do. So Baker dribbling into the lane, now kicked out. We got a three-pointer up and no good. Rebound Baker, short corner, layup is no good. Another rebound for Baker.
And it looks like they called a foul against Baker there, so she's getting another free throw opportunity. Back-to-back for her.
So Baker will return to the charity stripe, where they have had so much success tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I said this in the first half, but now as we come closer to the end of this game. It's unbelievable how many free throw attempts they've had.
They've probably got 20 points on free throws.
Alone, yeah.
So Baker hits her first. She gets set for the second. And that one rims out, so no good. Just a 1-for-2 trip there for Baker as the Polars look to attack, going straight at him. They say charge! It'll go the other way, putting team ahead of body.
Yeah.
What a great defensive play to establish position.
Absolutely, Reagan. And now
Take a charge.
The Polars are one foul away from getting their 10th in this half alone.
Honestly,
this is going to put them over 23-24. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 25 by the end of this game.
There's nothing better than watching a player just sacrifice the body and just take a charge. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously basketball is not as much a contact sport, but, when that happens, when plays like that happens, you have to appreciate that.
So Baker will score right there.
We're going to get another timeout, it looks like.
We'll get a timeout. And it looks like it'll be a full timeout for the Polars. Lead is 64-35. Just a couple minutes to go in this game, and this has been a great game.
This has been a
fun.
fantastic game for the Raiders here tonight. I mean, their fouling was a little off in the first half, but in the second half now, they've only gotten 5. And it's been off for the Polars all night and their scoring game as well. It's been one-sided, to say the least, from the start.
Yeah, and, I think if clearly adjustments were made at halftime by the Raiders coaching staff to kind of slow down the pace and not risk, making too many mistakes and whatever.
Right.
But they had 45 points at half. I think they could have scored 90 in this game. They just were dominating on offense.
If they committed to, how they were in the first half
right.
and dominated on offense, they absolutely had the opportunity to. But, again,
they'll take a win.
They're still just high school players, so you still want to give them enough rest time. You don't want to overwork them. And granted, it would be cool to see that.
It would be fun to see that.
Absolutely. And set a high school record for either the high school itself or the Metro East Conference, which I don't know the records off the top of my head, but hey, that would have been cool to see.
Yeah. So the Polars will have possession, and we've got a blocking call. Looks like we'll probably get some free throws here, and we will. I believe that's Lakeisha Thomas at the free throw line, and it is. And she's had, kind of a unique free throw. She's pretty far behind the stripe.
She's pretty far behind the stripe, but she's definitely got the skill to make it in the basket from there. I wouldn't doubt that. Looks like McVicker's coming out of the game for the night for the Raiders.
So she'll get a nice little ovation there from the home crowd. Yes, it'll be an 0-for-2 trip for Thomas to the free throw line, and the Raiders have numbers. It's a 3-on-2. Ball goes off a Polar player's foot.
Rolls right back into the Raiders' possession.
2.5 to go in this game. Raiders at the top of the key. Now passed into the post. Turnaround hook shot. And
another foul called on the Polars, their 10th of this half. And now another free throw opportunity for the Raiders. They're going to keep taking advantage of these.
Maggie Schlottman taking advantage of the free throw line. First one, no good. Well, they've done a great job tonight. They've shot a high percentage on free throws. I think they started the game 8 for 8 on free throws.
They did, and then you jinxed them.
I did, and then they missed them.
But hey, I feel like their field goal percentage is going to be, from this game, high 70s, at least from...
Yeah, they've done a great
job.
From
free throws alone. But all night, it's in that 70s range for sure.
Polars taking and making a 3. Kalia Brilli. A quick trigger from the right side wing was up and good. But perhaps too little, too late for this Polars team. As we get a turnaround layup off the glass, Maggie Schlottman, the 6-foot center, showing some touch with the left hand off high glass. Now the Polars can't convert, but it's picked off. Lakeisha Thomas with another steal. Got more bodies hitting the floor. we've seen a lot of that tonight. It's been a good, high-effort game for both teams.
That it has been.
So we'll see Thomas at the free throw line, where I expect her to be another, 6 inches behind the stripe. So that one no good on the 1-and-1. So she won't get the second.
Yeah, the Polars definitely needed both of those to go in.
Yeah.
But
Raiders attacking into the paint. Off high glass, no good. Offensive rebound, no good. Another offensive rebound. Now out near the top of the key. Driving into the lane. Shot is up and blocked. Fight for possession. The Polars have it. It's a one-on-one towards the rack. Layup is up and no good. But they're going to say a foul going against Abby Doffing. And we'll have more free throws.
Certainly a big difference in amount of free throw opportunities for both teams tonight. But yeah, the Polars are still down by a total of 28 right now. That might change here in a minute.
So Alia Horton, no good on the first free throw, but she'll get a second. Raiders lead 66-38, a minute 20 to go. Second free throw doesn't even hit rim. So that'll be a violation, and it'll be Raiders basketball.
At this point, minute 20 left. I think the Raiders, well, considering how Baker's going, they may not be killing the clock, but they still will try to.
Pass dumped into the post, but it's picked off. That'll be Kalia Brilli going the other way, and now it's stolen right back. Pass inside, again turned over. The turnovers are
unbelievable.
And we've got to travel. That's another turnover.
Yeah.
I think we just saw 4 turnovers in 10 seconds.
I wouldn't disagree. Yeah, in that past 15, 20 seconds. So many turnovers. And that's definitely been a big difference between the first and second half is the number of turnovers that have come out.
Pass inside of the post is turned over. So
5 within 15.
Yeah, that was not the best stretch of basketball. A wide open 3 is slightly short. Maggie Jones, the sophomore, couldn't get that one to convert. Now 40 seconds to go in this game. Wait. Was that an intentional foul?
It could have been.
Well, typically you don't intentional foul unless you're within a couple possessions, so 6 points.
That's 11 now in this half for the Polars. Bring their total to 24 on the night.
Typically, you don't intentionally foul down 30-plus points.
No, you don't want to do that, especially with only X amount of time left. So at this point, my main question is...
It's free throw opportunities, so it'll be Natalie Kaflish at the line. First one was no good. Second one rims out. Offensive
First one
rebound.
was good. Second one was no good.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
My bad.
You missed that. Well, I'm here to correct you on that.
I was trying to find player names.
Fair enough, man.
And we'll get, looks like a timeout.
I mean, I think the Raiders at this point might want to look at this and be like, do we want to get a 3, make it a 70-38 game? Or
if they
just kill the clock?
If they wanted to rub it in,
those are a couple of options.
They would have started the second half doing it.
Absolutely.
I think they're content with what's gone down. I'm surprised why timeouts are being called with 30 seconds left in a 30-point game.
Catch the breath.
What
else?
I mean, typically if it's more than 15, usually the timeouts stay in the pocket and you don't use them.
Right.
But here we are. They're allowed to do it, so as we get a great shot right there of Patrick Leslie talking to his squad. He's been fun to watch tonight. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's been entertaining for us up here.
He's been a good watch. So both teams back out on the floor as we get a shot right there of Leslie on the sideline, and 36 seconds to go as the Polars inbound. Swung around to the right side. Passed into the post is tipped, and
jump ball being called.
They'll say jump ball.
Going to be the Raiders' ball, and
So it'll be Raider possession, and you have to assume they dribble this out and call it good.
well, Baker doesn't look like she wants to.
Now top of the key, less than 20 seconds to go. And they'll just pass it around until we hear a buzzer. 5 seconds, and that'll end it. So the Raiders are going to improve to 3-2 on the season. And this, once again, this was a conference game, so that'll move them up in the standings, or at least get them a little bit closer to, I believe Hill Murray was in first place, 4-0. North St. Paul loses another game, so they'll drop to 0-5. A tough start to the season, but I think there's good things they can take away from that second half. But
absolutely, that second half.
They played a lot better in the second half. I'll give them credit there as we see them. And their socially distanced bench.
Yep.
And I think, I mean, the big takeaway for tonight for me is just the domination of the first half. How well Hastings played in the first half, especially with Lily Newton. I mean, she was fantastic. I think she ended up with 20-some-odd points. And overall, it was a great team win. So fantastic job.
That is what they needed here tonight. You know, get a little momentum, break even from 500, and now you're at 3-2 on the season. I mean, it's still a little ways to go in the shortened COVID-19 2021 season. So yeah,
it's been great, and as we see a few more camera shots there of each team and at their respective bench as fans get set up to leave, and we'll just about wrap it up here. For the broadcast crew, Hunter Binky, I'm Reagan Hooverman, Theodore Tollefson, Ian Andrusak, Chip Elmquist, Ben Moen, Kurt Radke on the graphics. So overall, great job, great broadcast, and great win. Thanks for watching.